Man, this was one that I was so fucking excited for and did not disappoint at all. Like anything Guillermo del Toro, I will eat with a fucking spoon and just, kill myself by stuffing myself with. Like, I love this man and his work. And yeah, this one, I'm disappointed because there is a black and white version out there.
It's only
But,
been released in. It's only been
apparently
released in.
Utah's not.
This is still on theatrical release at the moment. That's the thing. Even though we watched
Mhm.
this weeks ago, and that's the thing. They're trying to. We'll do this last Sunday a month, and then there's been a whole fucking slew of movies. It's like last year we were digging for stuff, and now it's like, oh, what do I watch now? There's too much,
Right.
and then it's gone out of my cinema, and I'm fucking traveling across London to watch it again. But still remember, it's, like I
That's
said,
fair.
good experience. I think when this does release on Blu-ray, they'll have both versions.
I haven't seen anything about it. Like I follow Blu-ray pages quite a bit, and they're usually pretty good about announcing what's going to be with the release, even before it's like fully announced. But man, I really fucking hope so. Like at least if they do something like what they did with Mad Max, like Fury Road, where there's two separate editions. Like you can buy just the normal theatrical, and then you can get the black and chrome. Obviously, this would be
Something I
black and
never read
white.
into it. Something happened
I would
between
fucking eat it up,
Tom
man.
Hardy and Charlize Theron.
Yeah, he was a fucking piece of shit. I guess he was a diva, and she was like, "What the fuck, dude? Everybody else is working. Why aren't you? Fuck you, lady."
All right,
And that
I
was
didn't want
pretty
to
much
read.
the
I
gist
hate.
of it.
Here's the thing: if I start reading celebrity gossip, I'll never watch another movie again. Like I'm already disgusted with Hollywood, and I think social media has shown them
Hmm.
out to be the absolute dickheads. Like, well, we knew they were dickheads, and up their own arse, but
Hmm.
social media has shown them out to be the absolute fucking planks that they are, and I
Yeah,
really don't want to see the actor. In fact, that's good thing about this movie is I don't see Bradley Cooper, and that's
right. This is so far removed from everything else he's ever done.
yeah. My only confusion is Nightmare Alley. How does that title tie into this? Because I'm not seeing the connection.
I mean, it says in the beginning of the movie, like that's so the little stretch in between the stalls and all that shit, that's what
All
Nightmare
right,
Alley is. So when he first walks in and is talking to the people and getting kicked the fuck
he
out,
wasn't talking to
that's what
anybody. That
Nightmare
was
Alley is.
got
Well, okay, when everybody else was talking to
yeah. I
him,
was
because
like,
he
what the
doesn't say
fuck?
shit for the longest time. And I love that. It's so refreshing to know that you can get a story across without
Yeah, but I
having to
didn't
spell
get
it
why the
out.
carnies were falling over him. Like they basically begged him to,
Mhm.
like William Dafoe's character, basically begged him to have a job, and they're like, "Do you need help?" And fucking Ron Perlman, he was underutilizing this, but he played a good solid supporting
Yeah,
role. But I just think it's fucking Ron Perlman. Why isn't he like the carny lead? But then when you've got him and William Dafoe, it's like, oh, for fuck's
right.
sake, come on, this is who do you pick? Um,
Yeah, it's like this cast, like just everything about this movie was so fucking perfect.
well, kind of dropped a wee bit there towards the end. Don't know
Oh,
what's happening.
damn
Yeah, you love
technologies.
it. Here, it wouldn't be a show if things didn't happen. Come on, if
Right,
this all went just like smoothly every time, we'd be like, huh, what's happening? What's going on? Oh yeah,
right. Did we
that's
press record? No, no,
yeah.
that's what we would be
It's like
saying
when we were
about.
streaming and
Yeah,
fucking like 10 minutes of a 2 hour, 2.5 hour episode when we got into some shit, and you're like, what the fuck?
right.
So this movie opens up. Okay, why are you going to dig a hole, lift floorboards in a house to hide a body that you're going to burn the house down? Like,
I mean, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, the dude fucking killed his father by opening up the window in the middle of winter and sat there and watched him die. Like, I believe anything that motherfucker is gonna do because that's already overkill. He could have like suffocated him. He could have just fucking left. So I don't know.
Yeah, it was
I
just
bought it.
I don't know. Maybe it's the whole practicality. It's like okay, mattresses are really flammable, and if you're just burning down the house and just
Mhm.
fucking doink, like you're going through a lot of effort there for nothing. I don't know. Just like
Yeah.
why, man? Also, it would help get rid of the evidence because there's a chance that the body might still be intact because if the place burns and then falls down top, then the evidence. I don't know. There's obviously it was showing it deeper. Like it was really ominous beginning. Like there's something fucked up going on here,
Hmm.
and we're dealing with a disturbed individual. You know, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's due to because it never really hinted was it past trauma. Hinted at a bit, but never really spelled it out. Which what we're talking about, you don't need everything spelled out to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, shit. Yeah. It's not even until the end of the movie where you find out fully what he did.
Which is it's all cool. Um, we were talking about
Hmm.
he arrives in, he doesn't speak, and that was the only bit I found about it was good, but I don't understand why they were falling over themselves to give him a job. Seemed a bit weird. Now, if they had maybe cut that bit out where they were offering him stuff, and the bit where the rain started pulling everything down, and he just jumped in, that would have made a bit more sense. He just
Hmm.
made himself useful. And then, because I was getting the impression he's watching at the start. He's watching everybody. He's reading the
Hmm.
lay of the land before stepping forward, which is something I need to learn to do because I tend to just fucking jump in and then annoy people instead of sitting back for the first few months. That's one of my
Fair.
feelings. So somebody can sit and do that, just be quiet and take everything in. But the problem is usually within
Yeah.
people
I can't.
understand I'm a go up shit within an hour and then ask my opinion about something and then I give it and then fuck you. So I think if they had to cut out that bit where both Ron Perlman, his character, I forget his name, but and Willem Dafoe's character were offering him basically begging him to take a job on and start. If they had to just cut that wee bit out, I'd have been more.
Well, it's with Ron Perlman's character, that wasn't really like until later, like after they're pulling everything up and shit. Like he's actually pretty straightforward from the beginning. He's like, look, fine, you want a job, pays $1, break shit down, we're kicking rocks, you're done. That's it. And it wasn't until after, they broke down everything and the rain started going that William Dafoe's character's like, hey, fuck it. You want a hot meal and a job?
Maybe I
Come with
should.
me.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? It's been a couple of weeks since I've seen this, and I wanted to get back in
Yeah,
again,
I
and
just
it's not
watched it.
available over here. So it's
There
like
you
I was kind of getting a bit of
Oh, that's so rough.
they were trying too hard with him.
go. Well, I mean, the thing is, when it comes to shit like that, I totally buy into it because they're fucking carnies. Like, if there's anybody in this world that knows how to read a person within 5 seconds of seeing them, it's a carny. So I bought it immediately. I didn't think it was too
Yeah,
overhyped or
because
anything.
and you know me with circuses and carnivals. I'm bought anyway. I'm like this. Don't do anything. Just show me carnival and the lights and everything, and I'll sit there for 2 hours.
Right?
you know, I have a wee bit of an obsession.
Hmm.
Clem, yeah, that was Defoe's character. Yeah, he is ruthless, pragmatic, brilliant character. The
Hmm.
whole setup at the beginning was really good. It's like just watching it play out, and then when we get first introduced to the geek in the cage, like
Yeah.
that, that was just like fucking yeah. I just find an old alcoholic and I give them a bit of opium and then get them hooked, and then I just fuck with their heads, and then I just break them so they're not human anymore, and then that's what we do, and then he's just so
I love
casual, and like
that.
you fucking you bastard.
Right. Well, it's funny too because like I mean I'm not usually the kind of person that catches like the gist of the movie before the end because like I just emerge into it completely and I just turn everything off. But yeah, it's like that was so much foreshadowing that it's like, oh, cool, I know how this movie's gonna end. But
Yeah,
it was okay.
it was laid out there, and just like, oh, okay, this is gonna be important.
Hmm.
Uh, just love the way that you're not trying hard enough, you're not acting. We need, you're going to get fired now, and just like imagine being able to do that to someone.
Right, you're only here until we can find a real.
You're not a real geek. This is why I don't have power. Because if I could do that shit to people, I'd fuck with people left, right, and center. Seriously, I would be a monster.
Yeah. Same. I have zero compassion for human life, so
yeah,
I'd probably do it.
Without doubt. Honestly, I'd do gnarly stuff and love it. And I'd let people know I'm doing gnarly stuff just because I love it. And because you're upsetting me and annoying me, because I stay in my little lane, and if you encroach in my world, guess what? Then I hate your guts. And I will do gnarly things, but that's why I don't have power. I think people recognise that as well and get frightened by me, because when I start getting like, intense and stuff, it's like, whoa, fuck. But yeah, the whole thing of Clem and setting up the carnival, I really loved. I wasn't sold on the relationship between Stanton and Molly. I wasn't sold on that.
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of seeing him going, oh, they're the shiny thing I wanted. I didn't really get that. But I was more interested in the dynamic between Pete and, what do you call her? Xena, yes.
Xena?
Right, there was some sort of weird cuckolding, fucking swinging dynamic going on in there. Because it was like, Pete knew the minute he stepped out the door, he's horsing into his wife, you know what I mean? It was just let out there. But they almost came together like a family. Mm-hmm. And there was this weird dynamic going on.
Yeah, it was quite the weird incestuous.
Yeah, it was really, that was really well done. I think they should have spent more time at the carnival. There was so much to play with. Now, I know they had to move the plot on to get where it was going, but to me, we should have more time in the carnival. The Xena Pete thing could have played out for a bit longer. In fact, it would have made more sense for him to go with Xena than Molly. To set up on his own. To my mind, there was more of a, and there could have been more of an interplay there, a stronger character who was a lead, and then having to play second fiddle to him, where to me, Molly was a bit too submissive. And
yeah, but that's what worked is because there was so much stress, like as soon as Pete started teaching him and stuff, that excuse me, that Molly's like, or not Molly, Xena's like, look, don't do a fucking spook show, man. Don't do a spook show. This is a bad thing. This is what happens. Blah blah blah. And I think if he had run off with her instead, it would have been completely different. Like, she would have been like, nah, fuck you. You're not doing this shit. I'm not helping you. Whereas Molly, yeah, she's young, dumb, and starry-eyed. So, of course, she's going to do whatever she has to start their future.
Yeah. Like I said, you can see where the plot needs to go. I just think, to me, I just didn't want them to leave the carnival. I'll be honest. I just want the lights.
That's fair.
I love the carnival, so I wanted them to stay there and do really gnarly shit. Like, there's so much setup there for gnarly shit to happen in that setting without going away. That's like, don't go, don't leave. I want to see more of this. But I love that.
Yeah, right. Especially William Dafoe's tent. Like, just let me stay in there for a couple hours.
Just like, come on. Yeah.
Well, and just the setting, like all his pickled babies and shit, and Enoch, like that shit was so cool.
Yeah, and that became prevalent as well later on. It was like full, like this movie's all about full circle. Don't want to jump in straight away, but you know what I mean. Here was the thing, though. I think I asked you this before we were going to do this episode. The scene where Clem's talking about the alcohol and the wood alcohol. And wood alcohol is poisonous, and the two things, and I can't remember, because it was that dark and stuff. Was he saying the blue tabs were the poisonous one, the wood alcohol?
The blue crate, wasn't it? Yeah, so red crate or brown crate, whatever, is the wood alcohol. The other one,
I can't say. I'm sitting looking at this, and it's fucking dark. And I'm like, which one's blue?
Yeah, no, even on second viewing, when I'm like paying attention to the shit that I afterwards I'm like, man, I really should have been paying attention to. Yeah, you can barely tell the difference, and I'm still on the fence, but I really think it was
Yeah,
accidental, not intentional.
because that bit where because obviously we'll see as this plays out and Pete's delving more into the alcohol's taking over and alcoholics are not fun.
Hmm.
They're not fun to be around.
No.
They're fucking soul sucking. Just stay away. Honestly, unless you're like super
Yeah.
strength of character or really, I wouldn't say empathetic because if you're empathetic, you're actually going to get destroyed. If you need to be,
Oh,
you also
absolutely.
almost need to be psychopathic to deal with an alcoholic. Honestly, you need to be able to
Mhm.
switch that part if you're dealing with them. But just from personal experience dealing with some, but
What personal experience? You know.
well, that's why if I have a bottle of wine on a Saturday, I feel like, oh fuck, have I had to? But right, hold on, I can't drink for another 4 weeks. Have I gone down the bad road because I've drunk by myself on a Saturday night? Oh fuck, because I've just seen that road and it's like, but
Hmm.
you can just see Pete just fall more and more down that rabbit hole, and anybody that's around getting sucked in.
Hmm.
And that scene where Stanton is at the bottles and he hesitates, it could go either way. It's either which one is it, or is he thinking
That's
about?
the thing. Like, I
There's
don't
a
think he
bit where
hesitated. I don't
he's.
remember him
Do you know he
hesitating.
picks
Like,
up
he
the
just.
bottle and he sort of looks? It was only a. It wasn't like a. Like I said, this is a good movie because it's subtle. Do you know what I mean? And it's not like we
Hmm.
were talking about right at the start. It's not fucking Disney beating you over the head of this is what he's doing. You have to kind of pick it up, and that's where I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
hold on, is he making a decision or can he not remember? And it could go either way.
Well, see, the way I saw it is he just comes up, he throws his coin in, grabs it, and takes off, like
No, there
not
was
even paying
a little
attention.
moment. There was a
That's
little
why I
tiny
still think it
moment
was
of him
accidental.
just looking at both. Seriously, it was. I think it was
Hmm.
a blink you could miss it because I was because Clay the way Clay mentioned it,
Probably. I
I
was
knew this was
thinking
going
when
to
I was
be
watching.
because this is a friggin' this is dominoes getting lined up. This is the way Del Toro's made that. These
Hmm.
are all dominoes, and you can just like I said from the very start of the movie, like you said, sorry, not me. You're clever. You brought it up first. He's lining up the dominoes, getting ready for the push. So it's like one of those movies. Fuck, I better pay attention. You know, it's like every little nuance. And
Uh,
it was just that little brief pause because Clem mentioned it, had it in my head. Then we got that moment. I'm like, fuck, and he wanted the book. I mean, he'd already been enraptured by the book and the secrets, and it was just all there. And it's like, did he or didn't he? And I actually don't want it to be answered. Leave it. You know what I
Same.
mean? We can. That's a whole. Once again, back to we can actually talk about this shit and go, did he? Didn't he? Was that what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what's fun. More movies like this, please. Keep doing this. This is good.
Right.
Honestly, corporate people out there, this is good. Where we actually get to engage the brain for a minute.
Right. Just give Del Toro a
No,
free
no, don't
pass.
let
Let him do
him
whatever the fuck he
keep
wants.
a wee bit because look at what happened to Christopher Nolan. Look what happened to Shyamalan. Once you get your do whatever the fuck
Yeah,
you want
but Del
card,
Toro is
then it's
actually
like
good.
I'm gonna do bad shit.
I mean, I personally am not a fan of them anyways. Like, yeah, Del Toro though, like anything that has been a movie that is his pet project, it's just been gold. Um, like I can't think of a single movie of his that's an original of his that I didn't just absolutely love.
Yeah,
So it's like I think he should be given the free pass.
yeah. Like I said, I'll just be concerned. Just don't, if it's working at the moment, keep giving him plenty of movies, but don't let him have burnout either. Once it starts becoming the fucking factory. But yeah,
Hmm.
like I said, it just the whole tone of this here is brilliant. Is just set it up. Um, when they leave the carnival, it jumps 2 years, and then you see them set up. You only get a brief glance,
Hmm.
like when Stanton goes ahead and builds a whole electric chair, when he meets Molly and she's doing the Vanderval, you know, act and playing about, and is that where he encounters the sheriff? I know I didn't put it in the notes, but is this where he encounters the sheriff who's trying to shut them down, and that's where he
Hmm.
starts.
Well, it's because this is after the Defoe's character and Cooper's character drop off the geek at the mission to save him because he's basically dying. So the sheriff shows up under the pretense of human cruelty and shit. And then, yeah, he's all like, "Oh, you're indecent, lady. Your tits are kind of hanging out. I'm shutting this shit down."
Yeah, and then that's where we see Stanton actually use some of the teachings, and and this is
Yeah.
where the first I think this is the first we actually really see his character, because he kind of behind a veil,
Hmm.
like he was the lurker, the watcher up until then,
Hmm.
and then this is where we see him coming out. Before him and Molly left, I would have liked to see that develop a bit more, and maybe do like a short. It's just a bit strange why he went from like nothing to like jumping to being the headline act, and we don't know what his
Hmm.
background is. That's the thing about this guy.
Yeah. But I think that works for the character, though.
I suppose maybe gonna a bit of a too much too soon, going into a bit of a downfall, but I'd like to. I think I just would like to see a bit more of it happening in the carnival, just because I don't want them to leave the carnival. That's my only
Mm,
bugbear about this. Is like,
fair.
give me a 2 hour carnival cut of this movie, and I'll just sit and watch it.
Right.
But yeah, and this is where you see everything change. Like when it cuts, they went to Buffalo. I thought they were going to
Hmm.
Vegas. Was the plan to end up in Vegas, or did they start out in Vegas?
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah,
I
because
wasn't really.
they were in Buffalo, wherever that is.
That's in New York.
Is it? All right, so that's where
Hmm.
they ended up. So they went to New York then, and almost like within 2 years, the relationship between Stanton and Molly is like it's a functional one.
Hmm.
Like it's he's just drunk in power,
Oh,
all the
yeah.
audience just you know wanting the perfection. She's more like a she's not really a partner in this.
Hmm.
She's more like a stooge. It's just sad to see, but it's kind of the flaws of this character, which is going to be his downfall eventually. I mean, that's what we're seeing here is just the hubris and just nothing's enough.
Hmm.
I think that's a danger in anything. When nothing's enough and you don't get that moment where you smell the roses. Yeah, it's always good to progress and push on, but if you don't stop, smell the roses, and realize I'm fucking here, this is good. I've achieved so much, and you forget that, and you're always striving. You're never going to be satisfied, and then
Yeah.
that's the danger. Just you turn in on yourself. It was interesting when so this has been the first. He's doing the act. It's sort of hinted there's powerful people watching as
Hmm.
well. It's sort of the. It's not like the carnival show. It's a working class. It's like these are like hotels and rich people, and
Yeah.
it's performing for the cream. And then this is where we first get introduced to Lilith Ritter.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Which, god damn it, I fucking love her so much. She's so fantastic.
She plays this sorrowful, broken character. Just the way Kate Blanchett brings it across.
Hmm.
But you can see straight away the way he told the way the relationship between him and Molly's broken, and he's dissatisfied, and it's not enough. And then finally he meets a challenge,
Hmm.
and I think this is the first time he's been challenged in 2 years. I think he's just had it easy up until then.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, fuck, he's having to give himself a pep talk when he goes to talk to her. Like, that shit was great.
Yeah, and the whole thing there, and once again another little domino. The whole thing about the gun. You think it
Hmm.
makes you feel powerful? You have no power here. That's an early one that just thrown in.
Hmm.
Because he really he was excited and he took offense at the same time. It was strange, that whole
Hmm.
scene, because basically she tries to call him out as a fraud, like
Yeah.
publicly, and well, maybe I think she was testing him to see how he could react because of her plan,
Hmm.
and that whole thing, and then he's like, part of him's like, oh, a challenger, finally a worthy opponent, but also this is my kingdom. You don't come into my kingdom and expect it to be destroyed, you know. And this is where the dual side of his character conflict with each other, and you actually see that scene just play out lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, so good.
Yeah, then obviously he uses the tricks and points to her purse. In fact, she's got a handgun, this pearl heart. You know, that was cool. What happens? This is when. What happens next?
Well, so what happens right after is they're in their dressing room. He's bitching at Molly because she fucked up, and they get a summons to go meet with the judge, which was the guy he was originally talking to. And this was the determining moment in the movie. It's like, is he going to go straight, or is he going to be a fucking putz and, you know, fucking ruin his life? And the whole time, Molly, being his Jiminy Cricket, is like, no, we're not doing the fucking spook show. You need to be honest with him. You need to tell him what's up. And then, of course, they meet up privately with the judge, and Kate Blanchett's character is kind of hiding in the background, watching the whole exchange. And that's a defining moment. He's like, oh, yeah, no, man, this is what happens. This is what happens. The judge's like, but we got money. And he's like, fucking A, kid, let's do this shit.
And that's where I have a strange relationship with money. I've had money. I've not had money. If I have money, I have it. If I don't, I don't. I don't get obsessed over it. I could never understand those people that just dollar signs, you know, and just that becomes their whole consuming thing.
That's fucking miserable.
Yeah, I just don't see any happiness or joy or anything. If I have to save up 10 years for something that somebody can buy, like straight off the bat, so what? I saved up, it's mine. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, exactly. It's more special.
Fuck it, you know.
For me, it's like, if I can pay my bills and buy like a record or two a month, that's all I fucking need. I don't need anything else.
Yeah, it's all but these people, and that's where these movies, because it show this sort of personality that is alien to me, and when you're looking like an alien personality, it's like, what the fuck drives you? You know, how are you even remotely satisfied or happy? But this is part of the self-destruction, you know. He just sees the money, and it's not about the money as well. Like Kate Blanchett's character, Ritter, she's almost, it's almost hinted that she's engineered this, because in the end she treated the judge's wife. She's probably steered him there. Didn't he mention that he had invited her?
No.
It was a bit murky. It was a bit murky how she's connected.
What happened?
And it's been engineered for her to be there and the judge to be there, but we didn't see how.
Well, so what happened? Like the whole way that he got involved with her, other than that whole show, was the judge is getting ready to give him his information so that he can do a private show for his wife and himself. And that's when she slaps down her card. The way I took it was, you know, she pulled her dick out to call him on his shit. He pulled his dick out. They started sword fighting, and she lost. So at that point, she's like, oh, okay, I lost this round, but I'm going to fucking ruin you. And, you know, that's why she set down the card, knowing that he's a narcissist and he's not going to put up with that shit. So that's how he ends up going over to talk to her. And he didn't have an appointment or anything the first interaction. He just showed up.
Yeah, because it was all about power dynamics and playing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she treated the judge's wife. Remember, the judge's wife was one of her patients.
Yeah, because son died over the seas. Just some shit.
World War II. No, World War.
Yeah.
World War
No, it was World War.
Sorry, because World War II is just in the.
Yeah, because
just starting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I had to correct myself. I was like, no, that's all right. Yeah, it was World War One. It was only 20 or something. That's where I sort of saw that she engineered this, because she has a direct connection with the judge, and we see that there is a game, but I wonder how, because this hasn't played out either. How did Stanton come under her radar, or is this something that she would do with these sort of acts?
I think she was just there, and it kind of happened.
Just pure chance, you know, if she had went another night.
That's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking too much into it because I know she's a manipulator. I know there's a game being played,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just wondering, had she engineered this? But then,
Mm-hmm.
actually, the way you've explained it makes more sense. It's a direct. This whole set of events is a direct reaction to the sparring. It was basically, let's be honest, it was a sparring session,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, straight up.
and it was just random. Like, there's no history between these two, no emotional investment. Both could walk away, carry on the next day. Everyone else will have forgotten that ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? All these people would have went on with their lives. She wouldn't have been thought any less of. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the way you've explained that actually makes more sense. It's actually if she has really taken this badly, getting defeated, and then everything else is starting to make sense. You know, because I was having a wee bit of trouble with the game being played. I'm like, okay, did she seek him out? Is this, you know? And it doesn't act as if she has any ill will towards the people that the target.
Mm-hmm.
So that bit wasn't really tan up. But yeah, just fucking random event of, do you know if you bump into somebody in the subway and all of a sudden they become your nemesis and decide they're going to get involved in your life? Life is that random. That's
Mm-hmm.
actually really brilliantly done. Now I think about it.
Yeah.
Life is
Yeah, if it would have been too overplayed, like she was, fucking twirling her mustache, like I'm gonna fuck with this guy tonight, I think that would have just kind of actually been detrimental to the character and the
but
story.
it was there. And that's the threads.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, these movies, they're clever and you can pull out a thread. It mightn't be the right one, but the threads are there for you
Mm-hmm.
to have a wee play at. And that's what was so clever about this. So, back to what we're talking about, he just turns up, and that's where they come up with a plan, just basically start targeting her patients,
Mm-hmm.
which is fucked. You know what I mean? That's. If you want to
Yeah,
excuse never to go to therapy or anything else, if they're fucking shit like that's going on.
right. Well, and she's great about it too, because he's like, "Yeah, I want to fucking swindle these guys. I'll totally get you in on the take." And she's like, "I don't want any money. I'm fucking fine. What do you think? Like, I don't need this shit. Tell you what, you make all the money, I get all the answers." And that shit, like, that should have been a red flag right there for his
Well, for his
dumbass.
payment, she
Like,
wanted
oh,
the
she,
sessions.
yeah, and God, like, just a little bit of an aside. Like, Del Toro knows how to fucking set up a shot. Like, she is shot so beautifully, like perfect noir scenes. Her eyes are lit perfect. Just God, he's
She was
amazing.
almost ghostly.
She what? Well, the thing is too, and my wife laughed at me afterwards, but it's like I swear to God, he was trying to do the Lady Galadriel shit where she had the sparkle in her eyes. 'Cause, I mean that's how it was in the Lord of the Rings movies.
If she'd
Like
taken the ring,
they
this
had a
is Lady
special.
Galadriel. If she'd actually taken the wood ring,
Yeah, yeah,
we would
pretty much.
love her and despair.
That's how I
You
kind of
know,
saw the character.
but yes, there was like a
Yeah.
almost translucent. You know, it's like she was a hollow. You could see the hollow shell of a person, like something she's been broken inside, and we kind of find out later on there's been trauma. But yeah, this is broken, dangerous. You know what I mean? This is something you don't mess about with. Almost just right back. Remember, was it not basic? What's the other one? Not Basic Instinct. The other one with Michelle, Kim Basinger, Michael Douglas.
I'm
Basic
not
Instinct's the
sure.
other one. The Bunny Boiler. He has an
Yeah, I'm
affair,
not sure.
and then she goes and fucking just that sort of dangerous person that you should see the red flags. Just I'm getting throwbacks to that character. God, I should have looked it up. It would help if I was clever, wouldn't it? I'd actually be able to do some quality content with research. But this shit just comes to my head. I'm like, I was getting just when I think about it now, I'm getting throwbacks to that character who beautiful, alluring, but danger. And the thing is, the crimson feathers. You know what I mean? The display has been made. I am dangerous. Don't mess with me. And then, I'm gonna mess with you. I mean, she's given the signals there that I'm not somebody to be toyed with, and he tries it because he thinks he's. Which plays back into he never developed the act. He just went straight out, rose too quickly, too fast, got stuck in his own hubris. This is his first ever challenge, like proper challenge of an adversary, somebody wanting to take his kingdom away, and he fails. Let's be honest. Because we see this from the start, he just fails.
Yeah, pretty much from the get-go. Like, he did so well with the judge and his wife that she fucking killed him and then killed herself. And then he goes on to another powerful person that's going to ruin his life.
Dangerous, like psychotic.
Yeah.
Honestly, after that first meeting with Ezra, it should have been, fuck this, I'm out, I'm leaving the state, I'm fucking not touching this.
Well, and Lilith even told him, she's like, look, man, he'll fuck you up. Like, don't fuck with this guy. And don't use anything that I told you because he'll know that it's coming from me and he'll fucking kill me.
And that's where she refused, and that's where he copies the key on the soap and then sneaks into her office to start listening to the tapes.
Yeah.
Was it Dolly's sessions he was listening to or his? I can't remember. Was it Dolly she treated? I don't think he isn't the type of person that you treat. The Ezra,
it was the judge's wife.
What's Ezra's surname? Grindel. Shit. So Grindel isn't the type that gets therapy.
Oh no! He was because his love that made him go crazy. Like, she's dead. So it was him that she was treating.
God, I've missed it. God, I should have watched this again. Bastard in cinema.
Yeah, like that's the whole catalyst is he wants to be able to talk to his girlfriend again.
Yeah, because basically he made her have an abortion and backstreet abortion killed her, and lovely. Yeah. But this guy is unhinged, and this is back to in the carnival when Xena's character's like, don't do a spook show because this is where it goes fucking wrong. And like I said, all the dominoes, that's what he's laid up all the dominoes just waiting for it all to fall, and this is another example. Just it comes back again. Don't do this. This is where it leads, and it's alright duping, but he didn't even. He goes and dupes powerful people. He goes straight up like this guy's narcissism just couldn't be like a Vegas show or deal with ordinary punters where he might get a clock in the face or something like a punch, but he actually goes with people who spend their lives screwing other people over and destroying people. They play power games, and he basically jumps in the Shark Tank and when you're dealing with grief and loss and like personal shit and pulling those threads of people, like it's not going to end well.
No. Well, and it's like he had every opportunity to just fuck right off, never speak to them again, and everything would have been fine. Like, everybody warned him, like, dude, don't fucking do this. Lilith did. The bodyguard did. I mean, even in a way, so did Ezra. And he just kept pushing.
He wasn't going to be told. And like I said, you knew it wasn't going to go well for this character. You knew he was the one that was going to... There's no way he was winning. Because that was the whole story from the start. It's his downfall. See from the very start, this man's issues are going to lead you to self-destruction.
Oh, yeah.
The whole setting up of the operation of Dory was a bit like, this is how far, like, at what point do you start going, this isn't going to work? This is just...
That's the thing I didn't understand. Like, he seemed too fucking smart for that, because you can't... I mean, sure, you can control elements of what happens, but you're summoning dude's fucking lost love. You don't think he's gonna run up and try to get her? Like, come on.
Yeah, I just didn't see how that was ever going to go well. And like, you'd never get it right. Plus, he might have got the depiction of Molly, and it could have been exactly like her, but this is a man suffering from grief. He has a different picture in his head. It doesn't matter what the photograph is or whatever else, he has a vision. And unless you can actually rewire somebody's brain and put it in the projector, and actually put a fucking auxiliary out cord, you're never going to get that picture.
Yeah.
And especially when you have a one shot to get it. It's you probably get it when you commission art for people. You might come up with an initial sketch and somebody's like, yeah. You know what I mean? You can't.
No.
People can describe it, but unless you have that audio in fucking plug, it's never going to be like right first time.
Yeah, I fucking wish I had one of those.
Yeah, it would just make life easier. So how on earth did he expect somebody is supposed to be in tune with people, and he knows this guy's unbalanced, and he knows what he's dealing with, and it's like, dude, fuck's wrong with you? It's almost like he wants to feel. It's like
right.
He wants to sow the seeds of his own destruction. It's almost like he's willingly wanting to play it just to see how far it can go.
That's what it seems like. It's fucking Icarus all over again.
He's flying too high. I don't think that's the more impression. It's like, it's not about, he's already succeeded, and it's not about living comfortably, because he can carry on doing what he's doing, make a nice paycheck, retire, play about, you know what I mean? It's not about that. It's all about, I think with him, it's about pushing the envelope. And
definitely,
it just becomes, I think he just got lost in his own game and not understanding. Once again, the humorous, he doesn't understand, he doesn't think that it's possible for someone else to be as accomplished as him.
Yeah.
And once again, we don't know this guy's background. So, was what Pete taught him enough? Or did he just get a new toy, go out to play with it? Or did he build on something else? Do you know what I'm saying? Because we get nothing of his personality. That's what I'm saying a bit at the start. You get nothing of his personality to justify the way, you know what I mean? Job in, he's in bed with Xena, like within, I know the time scale gets jumped up a bit, but you know what I mean? He's not messing about. And it's almost like people are falling for him and he's not doing anything. So,
yeah.
Was it him? Is that the way he's always been? That people naturally give in to his desires, and he's had it easy.
Well, that's kind of set up in the beginning with Xena, like when he first shows up to take a bath. She talks about, oh, you're fucking dangerous. Like, I can tell you're a problem. You got everything going for you. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, but they tell him we don't see him demonstrate it, and that's what I mean. Pete's book seemed to have unlocked something, but it's almost like he went from nobody to everything with this book. Do you know, that's what I'm trying to bring across here. You know, so did this all happen to him too quickly, or back to what you're saying? Is he just so used to having everything handed to him without trying? Once again, it's something we can discuss with the guys. It's not laid out for us, you know. It's just something to think about.
Yeah.
Did this all come too quick, too fast, so he didn't really appreciate it, or is this just being him? And that's why he doesn't understand that there's other people just as capable, if not more capable, just as dangerous, if not more dangerous than him, and he's really a small fish. But yeah, we'll see this play out. Like that whole thing was setting up Dorian, Molly, like, get on with it. And she's like, this is wrong, even right in the car, which is doing the blood and shit, like, this is wrong, everybody knew this was not going to work.
Yeah. God, that shit.
But it was done well, though. It was still, we all knew this isn't going to work, what the fuck? But we're still on our tenterhooks to see how it plays out. And I think, actually, that scene gives us more into the mindset of Stanton, and that's where we're along for the ride. We want to play the game. We want to see how the game plays out too. Even though we know it's going to be a disaster, but we just want to see it happen.
God, and how disastrously it falls is so beautiful. It just starts laying into him. And it's so brutal. It's so gory, but it's so perfect.
Yeah, it wasn't cartoon violence. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't torture. But it was just actually even the violence fitted in with the tone of the movie. I just love the way there's nothing takes you out of this movie. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing here that pulls you out. Like there's been no graphic violence really up until this point. And even it is, it just fits in so well, and it's not jarring or anything else. It's just done, and then within that, he's killed someone. The freaking police are hunting for him. Just everything just went to rat shit. Molly is done. Like that's fucking. She already crossed her threshold. Like well before this. And then this is where we just say, like I said, Solo sees his own self destruction. Even up to this point, he still thinks he's more powerful than Lilith.
Yep, and that's the biggest fucking mistake he made.
We all knew that he wasn't. Like, she was playing him from the start. And any small thing, even the bit where, you know, like he copies the key and sneaks into her office, I don't think she didn't know about that. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing to hint.
I agree.
I think she let it happen as well. Because, once again, just back to the game, she's... Why am I going to try and destroy you? I'm just going to give you the tools to destroy yourself and watch. That end scene as well with her. Fuck. That was just... And back to what I was saying about the gun. I'm a powerful now. Like, even bringing that sentence back.
That shit was so great. Just, God, everything that she said in that scene was just such gold. Like, even after he took off and the security guards in there checking on her, just the line of, I'll be fine, or whatever she said, just so goddamn perfect. But I loved how it opened up with him in the sink, like pulling the fucking bits of skull fragments and teeth out of his hand. It's just like, God, that's so beautiful.
Realistic. And that's what I mean. That was gory, but it wasn't... This isn't a slasher movie. But the way it's been shot, that it just fits in. Yeah, if you're punching somebody in the face and mangling them, yeah, that's what's going to happen. This, I think people got too used to, back to Marvel again, people punch each other 20 times and don't even get a bruise. Fighting's not fun. Do you know what I mean? It's brutal, gory, and fucking gnarly, and things break and bruise and... But yeah, that confrontation between them, and then she doesn't even give a reason why she's doing it. Like, just the fact that I can. You thought you were it.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, she almost gives up her plan, almost, but we don't actually get it, because towards the end, right before he snaps and starts fucking going after her, she's just like, "Oh, you poor man. I thought you could have been so much more. We could have been so much more." And it's like, fuck, what did she think was going to happen? Like, that's the movie I want to see.
Yeah, but that's it. Just leaves it. Once again, you're not getting everything spelt out. It's all subtle undertones, and you know from the start when these two meet, there's a game being played. You don't know who initiated. You don't know how much investment each had in the background, but you know there's a game being played, and you know he's going to fail. Like, there was no... I wasn't surprised when things went wrong for him, because you just knew from the way this went that was the only direction he was going to go. There's no way he's putting himself out of the bag. However, after the confrontation, she calls the security guard. He's on the run. He's now been implicated in the murder. When does the scene pop in with Judge Kimball and his wife? Because this is really fast paced,
right?
And then they put this really slow scene in amongst here, and I found it.
Well, so that happens right as they're walking through the garden before Molly shows up in the costume, because the bodyguard is sitting there.
Oh shit! Because
listening to the radio, and then it kicks in.
Silly me. Sorry, I just had this in my mind that was a really poignant scene. And just shows that you don't mess with people who are grieving, and you don't play these games, and then harks right back to the start. Fucking, this is dark shit, man. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, so the actual scene itself takes place right before all that. And then, of course, the newscast and all that shit.
Yeah, true. Yep. Sorry. Like I said, I've only got to see this once, and I should have went the second time. I really should have. But it just shows
Yeah,
there's so
it's
much in this,
good.
and it's still there's movies I watch or entire fucking Netflix seasons, and I'm just like, and nothing like we talked about Archive 81. I've already forgotten that. Like, it's out of my head. It's gone.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
trying
it's
to.
gone. It's already fucking wiped from my memory because that's no. But this,
Mhm.
I've watched it once in the cinema, and it's all the plot points are still there because this is so engaging.
Mhm. So goddamn good.
And then just the way this wraps up, like they were kind of hinting, yeah, he might be able to pull it back, but it's like, nah, that's not the way of the story. And then
Hmm.
he becomes a vagrant. Fucking, he escapes from the police, moves, just going about. That scene with the watch, hey, no mooching when he's sitting around the fire.
Hmm.
And then that was his father's watch, and that's kind of the last bit of his old life. Just
Hmm.
handed over, and that's him. Like, that's whatever he was, gone now.
Yeah. And then that's when he finds the next carnival.
Now, how amazing is this? Like, for an ending scene, like, honestly, just full circle.
Hmm.
He drifts in. It's not the same carnival, but we see Enoch. That, in the
Hmm.
thing, that just brings it right back to, oh fuck, everyone else has moved on or retired or whatever. Because, what's this, about a 3 year period at this point? Yeah, it's been like
Something like
3 years,
that.
but it just shows how quickly things stay the same, but things change as well. So
Hmm.
Carney's up and vanish and move on and amalgamate into the other ones and stuff happens. But yeah, he's just broken. He's not even remotely recognizable as the person he
Hmm.
was. And then we have the new Carney Master just because he wanted to be a mentalist. That's what he said. I could be a mentalist, and it's like, nah, we don't
Yeah.
do that anymore. That's bullshit, basically.
Yeah, that's old timey
Yeah,
shit.
where have you
Fuck
been?
that.
Keep up.
Mm.
Yeah, because Carnival is like a jungle. It's not like a desert where everything stays still. Jungle where everything just moves up, gets eaten up and moves on and just fast flowing water. But yeah, that last bit when you just know where it's going. When he pulls out the two glasses, you just know where this is going. And he's like,
Hmm.
"Well, we've got a temporary job. It's only temporary till we find a real person, but we've just lost our geek. Do you know what a
Yeah.
geek is?" And then you're just like,
Yeah, and that shit. Like, and then, God, the final scene where he's just fucking. It looks like he's crying, and then it's
he's manic.
laughing,
He's
and
just
he's like, "Sir." Yeah, he's beat. He's done. He knows that his life is over. Like he's just a shell at this point. And he's like, "Sir, that's the job I was born for." And it's like, "Fuck yes."
amazing.
Just and it's so perfect too because it draws out so uncomfortably long that you just like it shows just how defeated he is.